All right.
Good to go. Good morning. I'm Danielle, and I'm with Alpha Inc.
Good morning, Danielle. My name is Stephanie Gutierrez. I'm with Beta Incorporated. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Tell me a little bit about what you're looking for and about your company.
Of course. Beta Incorporated is a leading manufacturer of integrated electrical equipment in the nation of Beta. We're run by scientists and employ more than 9,000 researchers. We have a deep commitment to robotics, which is evidenced by our task force and universal assembly of robots with visual and tactile sensors. We would like to work with you, and our goal in the market is to be the first to be able to offer a low-cost robot that has vision capability along with Alpha Incorporated. And we're very optimistic about this relationship.
We're really big on, bringing our product into the bigger market as well. We actually want to go global. So what do you think about that?
So we can talk about that going forward. Tell me, how was your trip to Beta? How are your accommodations?
So we're pretty open to any ideas that you may have, but really the bigger picture is to become a leader in the factory of the future. So we want to know how you can contribute to that if we're going to work with you.
Okay. So first, I would like to review the agreements that we've made up until this point.
Okay.
The first is that we have agreed that this will be a collaborative arrangement. We have also agreed that the relationship will be for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Alpha Incorporated will initially receive fully assembled robots from Beta Incorporated, from Beta Incorporated's current model lines, which will be sold under the Alpha Incorporated name. Then at a later point, Alpha Incorporated will begin to assemble robots using Beta Incorporated technology and components. And lastly, the agreement will be non-exclusive. So that's where we are.
Non-exclusive? What do you mean?
That was a decision that was made prior to this meeting.
So you're going to be working with other companies?
That possibility is there, yes. And this was a group decision that was made among my fellow coworkers.
To be direct, really just like to work exclusively, because if we're going to take this to the next level, we want to make sure that you're fully on board and you're not distracted by other projects. So if you want, we can get into how many models and units were you guys thinking about?
So the first issue is, as you mentioned, the number of models that will be provided to Alpha Inc. So we are looking at between 4 and 5 models, preferably 4.
Preferably 4. Mm-hmm. Not really going to work given the vision that we're trying to do. We're really pushing for 8 because of having the different types of models will really take it to the next level. Don't you guys want to grow as well?
Mm-hmm.
And it would be good for your name. So what about 7 different types?
Unfortunately, that decision again was made at a group level, so 7 we would not be able to do. I believe the highest that we could do is 5.
Is there any reason behind that?
Again, that was a decision that was made as a group. We are a very collective corporation, and for that reason, it would have to be 5. We can keep the option open to possibly increase that at a later date, but for now, it would have to be 5.
Okay, so thinking about that, that's really not going to work for us. 7 or 6 or 7 is pretty good in our range, because if we have less models, that means more automation of the other models instead of varying it. So also people are really trying to get their hands on different types that we have. Mm-hmm. And it also means more money for you because we have different models to offer.
So if we increased it to 6, that would mean that the volume of each of them purchased would also need to increase so that we could utilize the increased capacity. So if you all can agree to that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So why don't we say then 6, with the understanding that the volume of each of them purchased will also increase.
Okay.
Okay. So the next issue is the number of units that will be imported from Beta Incorporated to Alpha Incorporated.
Okay. And are we doing this by year, correct?
So this would be number of units.
I'm thinking 1,200 a year. How does that sound?
So 1,200 would be far too high.
What range are you looking into?
We are looking at no more than 300.
300?
Correct.
That's like no models being distributed. If we want to take it to the global level, 300 will be able to surface domestically, you know? And we're all about the growth of both companies. Would you push it up to 1,000?
I would not be able to do that.
Let me see. Let's think about this. How about if we push up the number of the units, I can pay more as far as royalties.
Okay, so in terms of the royalty rate, what were you all thinking?
Really 3%, but if you can settle with the amount of units that will be produced, I can bump it up.
So if I can get you to
I can go up to 7% if you give me 1,200 units.
So I can't do 1,200 units. Again, we are a very collective corporation, and because of that, I'm not able to come up on that number. It may be something that I have to go back to the rest of our group with.
Okay.
But if I can get you to 5, possibly 6% on the royalty rate, then we could potentially do 500 units. But that would be the highest that I can go.
How about we do 1,000 at 7%? That way you wouldn't be losing too much and I would be paying more.
So why don't we come back to this one?
Okay.
We can go to the next one.
All right.
So next up would be the technology sharing. It is very important to us that we're able to access your artificial vision technology. This is important because it'll help us blend both of our manufacturing expertise, and that would help us become, again, the first to market low-cost universal robots with vision.
Okay, so we are willing to provide you with some information. However, we need to know about your assembly process as well. So basically it's kind of like a give-give type of situation. Mm-hmm. We're gonna require certain information and you will as well, and that comes over time. But we need to know what we're working with. How many units will we need? And things like that. But the models are in place, but we discussed that we're only gonna do 6. We do have technology about the other models. However, if you're not willing to, help us produce them, I can't really give you information about that.
So if you all are willing to give us access to the artificial vision technology, then we will make a firm commitment regarding the transfer of the manufacturing technology, if that's something that you all can agree to.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're pretty nonchalant about sharing it with you, but as long as you help us, we help you.
Well, we certainly want this to be a positive and respectful partnership. And I think that this is one that will be positive for both companies.
Yeah. So we're really driven at the success of both of us. We really want to grow our company globally, but as well as you. And we really need you to be there by our side, working exclusively to help us achieve that goal. So going back to the units, think about the bigger picture. How many units do you really think should be out there? 300 is not enough. Even 500 is not enough if you really want to go far.
So 300
Yes,
units.
think about it.
So 300 units is what we had agreed upon. We can potentially look at perhaps 600, but again, this would be something that I need to go back and confirm with our organization. If we are able to bring it up to 600, would you be agreeable to the 5% royalty rate?
Definitely not at 600. I would agree to 6% if you were giving me closer to 900.
What about 5%?
At 600?
Yes.
I'm going to need a little more than that. If you give me 800, we could do something with that.
800 would be difficult.
So can we do 800 at 7%?
The issue is that we would need to find something that is cost effective as well for our organization. We could perhaps look at 650 at the 5%, no more. Anything higher would be very difficult.
I can do 650 at 4%.
What about 4.5?
4.
So I can tentatively agree to that. Again, this would be something I would need
To
to
really
share with
think
the
about?
board.
Okay.
Correct.
Let me write this down. So that'll be either 650 at 4%.
Including the artificial vision technology,
Okay.
looking at the number of models, which will be 6,
Yes.
with access to our manufacturing processes.
Yes.
Are you agreeable to this?
I am. That sounds like a plan. If you want to change anything, let me know.
Again, I will share this with the rest of the people at my organization and can confirm specifically the royalty rate as well as the number of units.
Okay.
Are you agreeable to that?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Thank
think
you
it
very
might.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.